Hello! Justin and I are out Jeep camping this weekend, so we are basically out at one of the locations that we went for our very first hiking spot, as well as when our brother and sister came out and visited us. Same type of location, just a different spot. And so that's what we're doing for the weekend. I think it's like perfect opportunity because there's some people around, but they're pretty far away, so social distancing, so we're still able to, stay safe, stay away from people, and be able to enjoy nature and the outdoors. So we're going to be camping in the Jeep again, and we do have like a fire ring set up and some firewood, so we have a fire later. So we were at Lowe's getting firewood, and we saw this roll of Reflectix, and we're like, oh, we planned on getting it. That's what we're working on right now while we have some time out there. Our Reflectix task is complete. We decided to just do these back windows for now, here and here. We have our mesh screens on the passenger doors here to allow airflow. Makes it really, really nice. And we do have a sun shield at the front because that's like a staple in Arizona. You have to have that. So Justin's cook set, this one here, has this lid and this container. The brand is Snow Peak, and it's 800 milliliters. I don't know what my brand is, because Justin got it in a battle box, subscription box, a while back. Same type of thing though, it has this container with a lid on top. Not sure how many milliliters it is. But it's probably about the same size, maybe a little bit smaller because it's a little bit skinnier. While we're cleaning up our dinner, I wanted to just quickly call out what the weather is supposed to be like here. So today, when we first got out here, it was actually comfortably warm, I guess. Like if you stood out in the sun too much, it did start to get pretty warm, and we went to shade for a little bit, but in the shade, once you get the breeze going, it's pretty chilly. So it's mid 70s, I think. For tonight, it's supposed to get down to 40s, so it's going to be really, really nice weather-wise. Jeep should stay pretty comfortable at that temperature, so pretty excited about that. And then tomorrow, it's gonna be really nice waking up, but then it's supposed to be, you know, pretty warm throughout the afternoon, but we're gonna be leaving tomorrow morning, so not really concerned about tomorrow's weather. In the morning, it'll be in the 40s, so if we want to get up, watch a sunrise or whatever, it's gonna be pretty chilly. So we brought our puffs just in case. Sunset's looking pretty good. We're just having some dessert, some gummy bears, of course. Very tasty, right? For the rest of the evening, we'll probably just kind of hang out, have some desserts, and watch the sunset, and then wait for the fire to go down a little bit. I may or may not try and take some star pictures, because as you can see, there's quite a bit of hazy clouds, and so it makes it kind of difficult to take pictures. So I might have to wait until morning. Overnight, it'll most likely clear up. And also that little moon, which really isn't adding too much light, and I don't know if you can see it, but he'll be set by the time the morning comes. So may wake up early and try to get some shots before the sun comes up. So we'll have to play it by ear. That's probably about it for today, and we'll probably, you know, chat in the morning a little bit more. Here comes another gummy bear. Oh, dang. We'll see you in the morning.
Nope, not gonna work.
Good morning. It is 5:48, and I got a fire going for the morning, and I'm kind of just waiting for the sun to come up to watch that. Justin is still sleeping, so I'm gonna let him keep sleeping. As far as sleeping goes, I was pretty comfortable in the Jeep, pretty warm. Like I had to get out of the sleeping bag a couple of times just to kind of cool off a little bit. But aside from that, we had some pretty noisy neighbors. They're pretty far away, but they had their music on really, really loud until about 1:30. That was a little annoying and made it pretty hard to sleep. But once they turned that off, I think I slept, you know, in increments of like an hour throughout the night, and then once 1:30 hit, I was able to sleep until about 4:30. So a good chunk of time there. Once 4:30 hit, I wanted to wake up at 5 to try and take star pictures, so I'm just like, just go ahead and get up anyway. But unfortunately, it was still cloudy. So I did the best I could with what I had, but they're not ideal. But they're still pretty cool, I guess. So now I'm just gonna wait for the sun to come up. Once the sun comes up, I think I'm gonna start coffee and then go from there. This is my breakfast. Look who's awake! Getting his coffee ready, of course.
Favorite part of the day.
Now we're just gonna have some coffee, continue to eat our gummy bear breakfast, and just kind of chill out. The sun hasn't quite peeked over the mountains yet, so we'll just kind of sit there and watch that. talk about our coffee cups that we use for camping all the time. We have these Sea to Summit collapsible cups that we have been using forever. I'm pretty sure since we've started camping, and we just really like them. They work really well. When it's fully expanded, it can hold up to 2 cups, so it's pretty nice to have. We love them. Mine's green, obviously, my favorite. And they do a pretty good job of keeping it from burning your hands. Like, you can usually feel the warmth of the coffee, but it's not going to be too hot, so they're pretty awesome for coffee. So the stove that Justin uses is the MSR Pocket Rocket 2. The way that this works is you attach the bottom of this to a fuel canister of some type, and then you basically bring up these little arms to sit the pot on top of. Use this little knob here to control how much gas is coming through the top here. And then once you have the gas coming out, there's a starter here that you just start from the top here. Does a really good job of holding our pots. It's pretty stable. We haven't had any problems with them being too heavy or tipping over. My stove is a little bit cheaper. When we first got them, we got some off of Amazon. Mine was a pretty cheap one. It does the exact same thing, basically attaches to the same type of canister. It has little feet to hold on your pot. The difference is mine has a starter attached to it, so it's basically like this, except it's like here attached to it, and then you push the button and it will light it up like normal. They both work really well. I don't have any complaints about either one of them. They both do the job perfectly fine. So we've talked about the stove setup that we have, and then yesterday we talked about the pots that we have. And so now we're going to show how we store it all to save space in our packs. So both of us do pretty similar things. He puts different things in his pot than I do, but for the most part the fuel canister can fit directly into the pot, and then the stove can fit in there as well, along with the starter and the lighter. He puts his cup in his and then puts the lid on top. I don't put a cup in mine. I usually keep it somewhere else, but still works. It's pretty compact either way. And he doesn't have anything to wrap around, so he just uses a bandana to keep everything together, because the lid doesn't clasp onto the pot, so you want to make sure it's secure so it doesn't go flying off anywhere. Mine's similar, but I do have like a little carrying mesh to hold everything together. But either way, we're able to fit basically all of our cookware, things that we use to start the fire, within our little pot, and so it saves a ton of space when it comes to packing. The bandana is also really good for other uses. You could use it to dry something off or wash out the pots. You can also use it for your pot handles. If they start to get too hot, you can wrap them around there, because if you're cooking over a fire, everything tends to get pretty warm. You can also use it to make a little pouch to gather some little sticks to help start a fire. There's really unlimited ways that you can use it. So we both use one utensil when we usually go camping. Our utensil of choice is the Toaks titanium long handle spoon. It works really well for coffee and eating. We used to have sporks that we used for a while, and they worked pretty well. The only downside is it doesn't really scrape the bottom of the pot all that well, and so it would, leave some food down at the bottom, whereas the spoon does a really good job of getting everything out from the bottom of the pots. So we decided to stick with these, and we went with the long handle because it just gives us a little bit more wiggle room, and we're not digging our hands into whatever we're eating or drinking. It also gives us a distance barrier when it comes to heating up our food. As we're packing up, I want to talk about some of the other things that we use on our trip that we haven't discussed yet. So first, our bags that we carry everything in are the same bags that we would usually take for like backpacking and stuff too. Justin's is a Gregory Baltoro 75 liter bag. Mine is a Kelty Red Wing 40 liter. It's able to hold basically everything that we need. And given that we're going to probably be Jeep camping more, there's a couple of things that we can probably end up taking out that will make more room for other things if we need to. A couple other things that I have here. Both Justin and I have a Thermarest Z seat. It is pretty compact and it's pretty nice to have. It's crazy how it's like this foamy material, but it's crazy how if you're sitting around and you just need something a little cushiony to sit on, you have it. It's really easy to carry with you. It's like a little luxury to have. It's not required, but it does make a little bit of a difference to have it. I like to take this on my climbing trips, especially where we do have the folding seats, but it's less bulky, it's lightweight, and it works really well when you're in the crate. For our clothes, Justin and I both use a 13-liter Sea to Summit dry bag. It's really, really nice, and you can compact them pretty well. All you have to do is, put your clothes in there, take all the air out, and then roll this down and clip. And our clothes, we don't really take a whole lot of clothes, so they can fit in here really easily, and they can usually probably hold a couple days or even more worth of clothes. Another bag that I have is just a simple REI drawstring bag. This is a bag that I use to put all my electronics in, like my cameras, my GoPro, and then also usually like chargers, as well as some other accessories that I keep with my camera. I like to have them in a separate container so that they're protected within the bag, and this works out really well, and it's big enough for everything that I need. This is my Ziploc Essentials bag. So within this bag, this goes with me for every single camping trip. This is where I usually keep my cup, my spoon, my headlamp, a Sawyer squeeze in case I need the water filtration system, medications, toothbrush, deodorant, and a compass. So this usually will go on every single trip. We also like to keep a battery bank on us so that way we can charge electronics if we need to. We have this Anchor battery bank. It's 20,000 milliamps, and it has 2 USB slots. This thing has been really nice to have for long trips. I would say it's lasted us, when we took it to the Green Canyon, I'm pretty sure it lasted us the entire trip, and I was charging, I think, the GoPro and our phones almost every night. So it lasts a very long time on a full charge. Justin and I also both have these REI Flex Light chairs. They're pretty small, pretty compact, but basically it's a folding chair that you can use for around the campfire, or you can use it, for anything else really if you just want to relax. His is already contained in here. Mine is still out there, so we can take a look at that. The chairs come with a little pocket on the side. That's usually where I store my storage bag. Basically the way it works is it comes with this seat, and the seat hooks on each of these rods, and so this entire seat can come off and you can fold it, and then these poles will collapse down so you'll be able to fit it into this bag. These chairs usually come out with us for every single camping trip, especially if weight's not a factor. They're just really easy to take with us, and they're so worth it to use to sit around the fire. We are all packed up, getting ready to head out. Everything's all packed up. We're about ready to head home here in a bit, and so we're gonna go home unpacked and relax for the rest of the day. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next adventure.